And the governor of Homs province has told RT the Islamic State has launched an offensive in the area following the U.S. strikes. He also said the terrorists have specifically targeted oil-rich areas near Palmyra, but so far have been held back. The Shayrat Air Force Base is nearly 45 kilometers southeast of the city of Homs. It's considered one of the most active bases in the country, equipped with 2 runways and around 40 hardened aircraft hangars. RT's Lizzie Phelan is in Syria tonight as well.
The Shayrat airfield supports airstrikes against Islamic State. With its help, the Syrian army managed to liberate numerous areas near the city of Palmyra. The U.S. missile strike is an act of aggression against the Syrian Arab Republic, with the aim to weaken its ability to fight ISIL. This is direct support for terrorists in this region. According to all international regulations, this aggression should be condemned. At this time, the Syrian army is fighting against the terrorists, following them to the east of Palmyra.
As we've heard from the governor of Homs statement, the Syrian government and army are saying that this American attack has unwittingly benefited ISIS, which was recently pushed out of the ancient city of Palmyra, the mountains and gas fields surrounding it. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that American strikes on Syrian army positions have benefited ISIS. Last year, a massive American attack killed scores of Syrian army soldiers who were already besieged by ISIS forces in the eastern province of Deir ez-Zor. Back then, the Americans claimed that that attack on the Syrian army was a mistake. Nevertheless, it enabled ISIS to make a hugely important gain and capture the strategic mountain where the Syrian army were attacked by the Americans. And over the course of the Syrian conflict, the Americans have a steady track record of their involvement in the conflict, benefiting extremist groups. At the start of the conflict, the U.S. backed several factions that then went on to join extremist al-Qaeda-affiliated organizations and ISIS. And of course, the Pentagon even admitted that its flagship $500 million train and equip program went on to result in the recruits to that program handing over U.S.-made weapons to al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria, then named Jabhat al-Nusra. This latest attack comes at a time when the Syrian army is facing threats from extremist groups on multiple fronts. Just over the last couple of days, al-Qaeda's latest incarnation in Syria announced that it was launching a new offensive on the Syrian army in the Latakia province. So there is, of course, some concern that any further American action will be capitalized on by extremist groups, as we're seeing by these reports of this ISIS offensive in the wake of this massive American attack on the Syrian army airbase in Homs.
Now let's bring in former Pentagon official and RT contributor Michael Maloof for his thoughts. Michael, nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
The United States is characterizing this strike as decisive, justified, and proportional. And at the UN today, Nikki Haley said that the United States is ready to do more. What does that mean? Under what condition? They're ready to do more? Are there going to be more airstrikes?
Well, she's basically putting the world on notice that if there's any further violations of the Chemical Weapons Convention, the U.S. will take unilateral action. There is no enforcement provision under that convention, by the way. Mm-hmm. The most that you can get are sanctions after a UN investigation, and it depends upon the member states to take the action. If in fact Syria did this.
The finger pointing on Capitol Hill today was rather amazing. It's gone from Syria now to Russia, and the Pentagon reportedly is saying that they're going to investigate possible Russian involvement into the original chemical airstrike. What do you make of that?
Well, I think, once again, this fits into that narrative against anti-Russian, anti-Assad, simply because Assad is supported by Russia. And this is also sending a political message. And I think that, once again, you have your military people in charge right now, giving the president, as well as the intelligence people, giving the president this guidance, and it's actually fulfilling their narrative of that anti-Russian approach. This also has an interesting domestic impact. It deflects attention from any Russian-U.S. collusion, so politically that helps Trump.
Well, you see the president's approval rating overnight has jumped up considerably. He's getting support on Capitol Hill. What do you think his next move is going to be?
I think he's going to have to lie in wait. They're already making some overtures. that they think they can work out something on dealing with ISIS, which is, we've lost focus on that for now because of this activity, but also on the Chemical Weapons Convention. Now that tells me that they want to, the U.S. politically wants to do something more in the enforcement area.
Okay.